I agree with Khiang that we should end this sad saga and move on. But how, he asked. I will tell him how. I have stated clearly my position on the integrity of the PM and the government. As Prime Minister, I investigated Lee Kuan Yew and Lee Hsien Loong in 1996 over the purchase of apartment units in Nasim Jade. My judgment and integrity were at stake then, as today, when I state my conclusion on the PM's character and integrity. After so much has been said by both sides and the government, it is clear that the allegations are baseless. There's enough distortion out there. I invite Khiang and his Workers' Party's MPs, as well as the NMPs, to also state their position clearly on PM's and the government's integrity. Khiang said in the speech that, I quote, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong and Dr. Lee Wei Ling should not make vague allegations in the public domain against the Prime Minister based on scattered evidence centered on family displeasure. Making allegations that appear to be calculated to undermine the Prime Minister's authority does not make for constructive politics, unquote. Well said. Follow up with a clear statement of your own that you have come to the conclusion that the allegations are baseless and calculated. His colleague Huat read out quotes from Wei Ling's and Hsien Loong's 14th June Facebook statement. Anyone can simply read. That is akin to spreading rumor. As an honorable member of Parliament, he should state his position on what he has read. That is what we are elected as MPs for, to have a clear view on issues. In 1996, at the end of the debate on Nasim Jade, Khiang and Chiam See Tong stated their positions unambiguously.
Ms. Cheng Li Hui. Mr. Lau, you want to have a yes?
Ask to clarify our position, right? Do you want that or don't want?
No, leave it to the Speaker, I think, to decide after PM.
You seeking a clarification, Mr. Lau?
Yes.
Yes, please proceed.
Madam Speaker, the Workers' Party has not gone through the due process to decide whether or not to conclude whether the allegation made by the Lee siblings is baseless. We keep our mind open. We are prepared to give benefit of doubt to the Prime Minister, but we don't know. And I speak for myself because we have not gone through the process. For me personally, I will not be convinced until the entire allegation is given a convincing or conclusive element. That means we should know what else do they have. I would like to clarify on the ESM's speech on he cited the example of the HPL case. I was in this house. Yes, I was convinced. Why I was convinced and why this case now is different from the HPL case. Firstly, Madam, in the HPL case, it was a market rumor. I was unaware of any allegation of corruption or wrongdoing. Secondly, the person at the center of the issue, Mr. Ong Beng Seng, issued a public statement to explain the matter to clear the air before the Parliament sitting. Thirdly, the subject person, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew and Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, both father and son, were not Prime Minister, not the head of the government at the time. It was the then Prime Minister, Mr. Goh Chok Tong, who called for investigation based on a market rumor and then come to Parliament for the public explanation and the debate. But for this parliament session, it is a Prime Minister, the head of the government, and the Secretary General of the PAP accused of wrongdoing. This episode, there's no investigation done. It's own self-defense, own self, in Parliament with the PAP MPs. I mean, I wonder how would you want to convince me, my party, and Singaporeans that is conclusive, and it is something that, we can all convince, entirely. Though I say I'm prepared to give benefit of doubt to the Prime Minister. Madam, I understand the Prime Minister's difficulty in, suing your own sibling, and that he worried that he would further damage his parents' name. But, I hope he would clarify some doubts I have on this question, nagging question that why he didn't sue. First, does he not agree that his family is not any ordinary Singapore family? And the person at the center of the issue is the Prime Minister of Singapore, not any other person.
Mr. Lau, I've given a lot of laxity, but clarifications are not a speech, please.
Basing on ESM,
Can you please specify the clarification you wish to seek?
Clarification because arising up from ESM, because he wanted me to state my position and citing HPL case and saying that why going to court, should not go to the court.
Yes,
so
Mr. Lau,
I believe
please proceed.
I'm clarifying. Madam, secondly, I wonder whether the Prime Minister is not worrying that the PAP as a ruling party will be seen as double standard. Does he forgotten that the former Prime Minister, Mr. Goh Chok Tong is your ESM, sued the Workers' Party candidate Deng Liang Hong during general election 1997 for just making a police report. But now this is allegations much more serious than that. And more importantly, we're talking about upholding the legacy of Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, that the nation, the laws, the birth family above individual. By using family, does not this also show that blood is thicker than water? Own sibling cannot sue. After all, we are all brothers and sisters. But political opponents and critics sue until your pants drop. I cannot square, Madam Speaker, with all this argument. Sorry.
ESM Goh?
I'll be very brief. The response by Loh Chia Khiang is not unexpected. I expected that. This is what I call political sophistry. And as for Tan Liang Hong, he's not my brother.
Mr. Peng Huat?
I just want to seek a clarification. This session was called by the Prime Minister for us to question on the allegation and seek clarification. So when I bring up the allegations, I expect some clarification. But then the thing is, it seems that I'm not supposed to bring it up because these are issues that are not substantiated, but these are allegations made by the siblings. So even when I mentioned that there is a document with Madam Ho Ching's name there listed as a contact person of PMO, it's an allegation with a documented proof. But I'm not getting any answer, but I'm accused of, throwing wild allegations at nothing.
Madam Speaker, I have some doubts to clarify. I have some difficulty because, first of all, Mr. Peng Huat is right. This session is called by the Prime Minister, and he said, I will give ministerial statement. Please question me vigorously. But then we heard mail thread yesterday from Indrani Raja that you're making allegation when you were asking some questions. Today I heard someone was saying, you may risk contempt of Parliament because talking about whitewash, and what cover up. So, Madam Speaker, I really don't understand how does it serve the purpose of this parliamentary session